Hi guys, David Love here, and today I want to speak about memorizing a speech. So, on Sunday I was at a public speaking seminar. Speakers are leaders. Shout out to Harry Sardinas and Lily Petrescu for a great event. I was given a speech on the Sunday and it was just before lunchtime. And I challenged myself to memorize it, and I managed to do that in about an hour, a little over an hour. Several people asked me, how did you do that? So I said, good question. And when I came home, I started thinking about it, and I basically pulled out the 4 different key things that I did. I sort of reverse engineered my process, from back to front. And so that's what I want to share with you today. 4 points. First is, what's the feeling, the intent, and the rhythm of the speech? Separating the speech, pulling out keywords and patterns, and then finally practicing it with feeling. This is the speech in question. It's an excerpt from JFK's famous Man on the Moon speech. So the first thing I did to ascertain the feeling, intent, and rhythm of the speech was I listened to it on YouTube 2 or 3 times. And that got me a feel for, it was an inspirational speech, it was an aspirational speech. And I got a little feel for his rhythm as well, We choose to go to the moon, My JFK impression. That was the first thing I did, right? Secondly, separating the speech. So I just broke it into sections 1, 2, 3, 4, divide and conquer. Then I looked at keywords and patterns. So what I did was I went through each section. I tried to pull out words which would help jog my memory, acting almost like bullet points in a way, right? So in the first section, we've got capsule, quest, and knowledge. You can see I've circled. And I would just look at that and see if I could remember that section, right? If this capsule of our history teaches us anything, it's that man in his quest for knowledge and progress is determined and cannot be deterred. Okay, it took me about 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes to get that first section, but once I got that, it kind of built my confidence, right? So get a quick win in and then see if you can apply that to the next sections, which I did for the other 2. Patterns I've put here. So again, I was looking for patterns. Well, actually, I wasn't looking for patterns. The patterns reveal themselves. And if you study anything deeply enough, you will start to notice patterns and principles. So if we look at this, for example, I'll give you a few examples. This section is all questions, right? Why some say the moon? Why choose this as our goal? Why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago? Why? Right? Like a small child asking why. Then here we've got lots of repetition. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade. And then we got because. Not because they're easy, but because they're hard. Because that goal will serve. Because that challenge. So you got because da-da-da-da-da, because da-da-da-da. So you're getting the repetition and you're also getting a feel for the rhythm. And as you keep practicing it again and again and again, these patterns and these rhythms reveal themselves. Finally, and most importantly, practice. Practice with feeling. I just went over this again and again and again and again. And after a while, what starts to happen is the speech comes alive. It becomes like a part of you. It's not just words. It's not just information. It becomes like an energy. And it's like your consciousness and your energy around that particular thing grows and grows and grows, so that when you speak it, eventually it starts to have a certain conviction to it. If you don't practice, it's going to sound empty. It's going to sound like someone just speaking words, And I think a great speech is going to have a combination of intellect and emotion. The intellect being the public speaking technology, the technique, your stagecraft, the information itself, the structure of the speech, the language, metaphor, all that sort of stuff. But then the emotion is going to be the feeling that you bring to it, If you look at Harry, for example, he's got a lot of emotional energy to what he's delivering. But obviously he balances that out with useful information. So you want to have the both, right? And the emotion is going to help you remember, because the brain stores information which has got emotion attached to it. If there's no emotion there, your brain's kind of like, oh, well, this isn't very important. That's why someone could say, oh, how was your weekend? And you'd be like, how was it sometimes, right? Sometimes you don't even remember. But if there's a strong emotion connected to something, you're going to remember it. So practice it with feeling. Convince yourself, and then when you deliver it, you'll remember it and you'll be much more compelling as a speaker. Hope you find it useful. Quick recap. Feeling, intent, and rhythm. Yeah, what's the feeling of the speech? What's the intent? What do you intend to communicate? What do you want the audience to feel? What's the rhythm? Separate your speech into sections, pull out keywords and patterns, and practice with feeling. Those things will hopefully help you to make a speech more memorable for yourself and for the people you deliver it for. Hope you find that useful, and thank you for watching.